You know, for literally thousands of years, humanity has been locked in this, well, kind of absurd competition. A race to calculate the digits of pi. And believe me, that race just hit a whole new level.
So get this, 105 trillion. That's the new world record for the digits of pi. To put that in perspective, if you tried to say that number out loud, one digit every second, you'd be talking for over 3 million years. Just let that sink in for a second.
Okay, so how did they even do this? Well, a team in the US took a monster server, ran it nonstop for 5 months, and filled up 1,000,000 gigabytes of storage just to hold this one number. And the crazy part? Every single digit had to be perfect. One little mistake, and the whole 5-month project totally worthless. The pressure must have been insane. So when you see all that, you just have to ask why. I mean, really, why would anyone do this? It seems like a colossal waste of time, energy, money. Frankly, it looks a little bit crazy. And that is the big question we're going to dig into. But here's the thing. This so-called madness, it's actually one of the oldest intellectual marathons we've ever run. It's a race that started in the ancient world and is still going strong in the age of AI.
So this whole thing kicked off with some pretty rough estimates way back in ancient Babylon. But the first real hero of this story, you got to give it to Zhu Chongzhi. We're talking 5th century China. And with just basic tools like think an abacus, he nailed pi to 7 decimal places. And get this, his record held for nearly 1,000 years. Just incredible. Of course, guys like Newton and Euler came along with new formulas, but the real game changer? That's when the computers finally took over.
And that brings us right up to today, where this old-school math quest has morphed into a high-stakes tech battle. It's basically a supercomputer showdown.
I mean, just look at how fast things are moving now. In 2019, Google Cloud hits 31.4 trillion. Okay, impressive. But just 2 years later, a Swiss team doubles it to 62.8 trillion. Then, not even a year after that, boom, a US company gets us to 105 trillion. This isn't just progress, it's exponential. The competition is absolutely fierce.
And you've got to understand, this is so much more than just typing a formula into a computer. These calculations are a brutal, punishing stress test. They push every single component, we're talking memory, storage, the processors, to its absolute breaking point, 24/7 for months straight.
Okay, so we've got this insane resource-guzzling race. But now we're at the big reveal, the twist in this whole story. Because the truth is, it was never really about the number.
15. That's it, just 15. Remember that 105 trillion digit monster we started with? Now look at this. It's almost funny, isn't it?
Because that's all you need. That's the number of digits of pi that NASA needs for its most precise calculations, like, guiding a spacecraft across the entire solar system. For pretty much any practical application you can dream of, we only need about 15 digits. Anything after that is, well, it's basically useless.
So if we don't actually need all those trillions of digits, what is the point? This quote really nails it. This is a naked race for computing power. Whoever wins is just proving their machine is superior. It's not about math, it's about bragging rights. It's a battle for tech supremacy, plain and simple.
In the tech world, there's a word for this. It's a benchmark. It's a standard test to see how good your stuff is. And calculating pi? That has become the ultimate benchmark. It's like the Olympics for supercomputers. If your machine can survive this torture test for months and set a new record without a single error, you've just proven to the entire world that your hardware is the best of the best.
But, okay, it's not just for bragging rights. This extreme competition has some amazing side effects. The constant push for more digits actually creates some really valuable stuff that helps make our digital world better and faster for all of us. Think about it. Pushing hardware this hard is the absolute best way to find hidden bugs before that tech ends up in, say, a critical data center, or even in your phone. This race has also forced us to invent faster algorithms, better ways to compress data, even more reliable cooling systems. And here's a cool one. Since the digits of pi are basically random, they're perfect for generating the kinds of numbers we need for super secure encryption. Even AI is getting a boost from all the high-precision math this race requires. And that right there just perfectly captures pi's new job. It's not just some number from math class anymore. It's become the ultimate test of strength, a touchstone for the muscles of our digital world. It's basically the giant barbell that tech companies lift to show off how strong they are.
So, you have to wonder, where does this all end? Well, with a number that goes on forever and never repeats, the finish line, it doesn't exist. And you know what? That's kind of the whole point.
This marathon analogy is just perfect. I mean, nobody runs a marathon because they think it's an efficient way to get to work, right? They do it to push the limits of human endurance, to see who is the best. The race for pi is exactly the same idea, just for computers.
And trust me, this marathon is far from over. That 105 trillion record, for some teams, that's already old news. They're already talking about the next big goal, 1 quadrillion digits. The obsession is real, and the scale is just going to keep getting bigger.
So, when you boil it all down, this isn't really a story about a number. It's a story about us. It's about human ambition, about our relentless need to push past our limits. The race for pi is really just a race to advance technology itself. And that leaves us with a pretty big question to chew on. If the number is infinite, and our ambition seems to be too, then where in the world is the finish line?